Would you agree if I said that people first need to buy you before buying your product, idea, or service? I'm sure you would. What do they need to buy about you? That you are an engineer or an MBA or a CA, or you've worked in company X or company Y? Or do they need to know that you are trustworthy, that you have attention to detail, or you're creative? Obviously the latter. Now the problem is that the first is credentials, the second is character. And if you think about how you have usually introduced yourself, whenever you had the chance to do it, you have used credentials. I was born here, I studied here, and I did this project there. It has told me nothing about you. Now the problem, of course, is that while I can go and say, hi, I am a gold medalist from IIT Kanpur, I can't say, hi, I'm very trustworthy. It doesn't work. So how do we do it? That's where connection stories come in. A connection story is nothing but a tiny anecdote from your own life, which when you blend it into your initial conversation, sometimes maybe even your introduction, leaves behind with the listener something about you. Let me give you an example. Let's say I was going to a bank and looking for a loan. And I was introducing myself. I could usually do the mini resume, which is I was born here, I am a computer science engineer, I did my MBA from IIM Lucknow, and I worked in Unilever and worked here. I started StoryWorks 5 years ago, and I'm really working hard, and I can build my business if I get some money. That's one version. The other version could have all that, but at some point I could have started by saying, hi, my name is Indranil, and I was born in Shillong in the Northeast to a middle class family. Somehow my parents managed to put me into a premier education institute where almost all my classmates were from more affluent families, tea garden kids in the works, and they had always had more money to spend in the tuck shop, the canteen. So I remember when I was in class 3, I came up with the idea of a comic circulating library, that too with borrowed comics, and I made a bit of money, and I was really excited about it. While I didn't have as much money as those guys, I had more money than I had ever had before. And stuff like that has always excited me. I finished my schooling and I went to Calcutta and studied in Jadavpur University, and I continue on and on and on in the same way. And I finished by saying 5 years ago I started StoryWorks, and we've been working very hard. We know what it takes to build in a startup environment, and if we can get some more money, we can grow the business. Now ask yourself, in which version would you, if you were the bank manager, be more amenable to giving me the loan? Surely the second one. Why? Because through that story, you probably have come to the conclusion that I'm hardworking, I value money, I have entrepreneurial traits. And that is what we call a connection story.